Hey, hello, we're in a little late, but here we are for the Lom1138 Cup League race number, I don't know, round 5 I think. Currently, Lucas Starkland's in the lead here at Qatar, and Dominic Nielsen is in P2. I don't quite have all the information, although, yeah, it should be enough for me there. I can't tell you the qualifying result, but I can tell you that Lucas Starkland's in the lead, and it looked like he was on pole. I was not home until we had started. So now we are here. And right now, Lucas Starkland in the lead, comfortable. Not really, because Dominic Nielsen is right behind him in the Alfa Romeo. Mark van Gelder is doing his first race today here at Lom Cup. And he is in P3, doing pretty good. And right behind him is Luke Joinason, here in P4. And Luke Joinason also has a job to get some points back in, because he lost them in the first races, so the second place driver from last year is now in contention for P3 here at Qatar. I think it's the first time he's really contending for a thing like that. No, he was last week at Austria, indeed. He overtook for P2 pretty close to the end. And let's have a look a bit more in the back. Milton Duxton now driving in the AlphaTauri. He has been switched with Marvin Murr, which caused a bit of a controversy, and we got a yellow flag. But it seems to have... yeah, it disappeared again. It looks like it was Rafael Spring from Groningen. Must have been in for a pit stop already. Otherwise, he wouldn't be that far behind. Mark van Gelder picks up the first time penalty. Those are 3 seconds onto his account. In Qatar, you have a lot of speed and a big risk of losing the speed by going over the curbs and also getting a track limit warning then. But now Luke Joinason is overtaking Mark van Gelder, who is empty on ERS actually. And he's up into P3. I think it's first real overtake here. No, it is the second one. Also Rafael Spring did too. And Joop van Leeuwen goes up into P7, driving against a Marvin Murr who's ghosting. So either there was a crash or they were... oh, one is in AI mode, is Marvin Murr in AI mode. Rayo Montano follows Mark van Gelder with the time penalties, also picks up his first 3 seconds. Rafael Spring just got Joop van Leeuwen. Oh, we got a top 4 battle here at the front. It is pretty close actually. Mark van Gelder managed to stay behind. Joinason here going through the onboard perspective. And Mark van Gelder using everything of his non-existent DRS now, going past Luke Joinason again into turn 1. We're seeing a close battle here. Could be interesting. And oh, I didn't see it, but Lucas Starkland's now behind Dominic Nielsen, so there must have been an overtake. or mistake by Lucas Dirksen. Both of them are doing it pretty smart, not battling too much and just trying to gap the field behind in order to secure those positions in this extremely fast circuit, which just looks awesome while spectating here and commentating over it. Oh, and Nielsen has a little lag there. And you can see the differences in setup. Tires especially. I think Nielsen is driving on the mediums. No, he's not driving on the hards. And getting really close here. Toineson also now. Past Mark van Gelder again into turn 1. So those drivers are not giving anything to each other. And we can see Mark van Gelder now under pressure of Roya Montano. Still no eras left, flashing like a Christmas tree. Or better said, flashing like Dominic Kuchen. And oh, look, Jonathan goes wide. Will be an advantage for Mark van Gelder here. Could have a potential look at an overtake. Got a lot of time now. Gained. Oh, and he's trying. In a spot which is brave to overtake in. And he's passed. And here we see Roya Montano. And Mark van Gelder is now in the front of the pack again. Fritz Bryan picks up 3 seconds too. While you can see the Aston Martin of Bernison. Oh, having a little moment there. This is one of the most tricky corners on the circuit, in my opinion. I'm always taking it a little too fast. And we can see still the flashing lights on the back of Mark van Gelder. Showing the driver behind that he is on low ERS. And it stopped for a moment there, so it looks like that Mark van Gelder is slowly getting back into it. The saving. Qatar is probably trickiest track in terms of saving ERS. So as soon as you're down, you are down. Can't really go back up until the pit stops are there. And this was a track done there by Mark van Gelder, definitely. It was pretty obvious from behind. Lucas Dirksen, meanwhile, still just stays behind Dominic Nielsen, doesn't try anything ridiculous. We see them pretty close, so in the normal case this would be able to overtake if you want to. You can easily do an overtake here, especially with Dirksen's high ERS saving that he has. Let's have a look if he actually does it here. And we get yellow flags. It is Luke Jonathan, spun around. Now getting passed by Milan Dirksen too. Look at this. Lucas Dirksen just staying behind Dominic Nielsen, not going past. Although it looks like he's losing it time a bit. Oh, this is a bit bad through the corner there. So now Lucas Dirksen has to have a look at pace. Keep on. Stick it behind Dominic Nielsen still. Yes, staying there without any problems. Mark van Gelder picking up another time penalty. Dirksen still again, we can see him closing in. Again lifting the throttle in order to not lose any time. Gotta get off till the end. Very smart driving here. To Dominic Kuchen last week in Tier 2. He was protesting. He got pushed off track. I think no, it was him overtaking off track. And him excusing that he had no space. Pushed off. So he went for a move he shouldn't go for. Dirksen, still staying behind Dominic Nielsen, doing the smartest thing he can do. Until now, it's just too much speed to lift the throttle, just goes past Dominic Nielsen without any problems. Staying ahead, so there might be a strategy behind this because we're already in lap 13 of the race. See, half of it done. And this tire looks at 48% usage. So Qatar is a very using track of the tire. And the front runners are all on the hard tire right now. So you can see where this is going. Anyone who started on mediums and is more in the back will not have a big chance at actually getting back into the lead or somewhere front. You can see Roy and Montano only medium still. Well, and Luke Jonathan, after spinning round, now has catched up to Milan Dirksen again. Let's have a look at this. There he is. You can see 0.4 seconds, 0.4 now. Going through the fastest part of the track here. This was pretty close there. There we go. On to the main straight. This is Luke Jonathan. Going for the move. And he is doing it pretty successful. There we are. He is back in P5. Place he was the time before, and Mark van Gelder just spun around. That was Pim Groenewegen. False alarm. False alarm. Groenewegen just doing what he can do the best, spinning. And here we are. We have Lom1138 now leading ahead of Dirksen again after he spun during a battle with Ryu and Van Gelder. Dominic Nielsen is now slowly dropping out of the DRS of Lucas Dirksen. So it looks like that Dirksen actually has lost some time when he stayed behind Dominic Nielsen all the time. We're seeing Nielsen catching up in the DRS, not giving any ERS, so 0.4 gain about on the main straight there. And Van Gelder's out. Van Gelder's out, retired on the pit lane. For some reason, I'm not sure why, but he's not in the race anymore. Pushing Ryo Montanel back onto podium positions. The Williams car, of course, now getting out of the pit lane again. Getting passed by Marvin Murr's AI, now by Rafael Spring. Carrying on the side of the track now. Or should do. Maybe it's also just driving a lap. Now to charging. Oh. Okay, perfect. So here we see Dominic Nielsen. Still trying to stay in the DRS of Lucas Dirksen. So one mistake and he's out of it. It's a very pressurous situation for him right now. Having to stay in the DRS window. 0.4 gain, so we can expect him at 0.3 somewhere at the end of the straight. And he is catching up, definitely, and we can see Williams of Pim Groenewegen somewhere in the back there. Lucas Dirksen trying to stay ahead of Dominic Nielsen, trying to get some time out because now the pit stops are slowly starting. We're talking about 60% tire usage. Ryo Montanel just went to the pit lane. So did Milan Dirksen. And currently Lucas Dirksen's at 60% tire usage and Lom1138 at 62. And I don't have any data of Dominic Nielsen. And here you can see. Still, Nielsen staying in the DRS of Lucas Dirksen. And he's staying out. Nielsen following. You can see them going past from the grandstands. Any nice aerial view. Okay, enough aerial view now. We're back, and Dominic Nielsen still staying behind, 0.5 seconds. Marvin Murr's AI just passed Rafael Spring. Not quite sure how. Here he is. While Dominic Nielsen. So very soon the Mercedes of Lucas Dirksen should pull into the pit lane to get a fresh set of mediums. Because his tires are now at 66% of usage. And here's Dominic Nielsen, pulling in before Lucas Turkson did, trying the undercut. And he is fast enough, slow enough into the pit lane. Even locked the tires, so I think there it was close to the speed limit, probably. And there go the medium tires onto the Alfa Romeo. And now the chase for the lead begins. Have a look. Nielsen stays in P2. There's just Tim Groenewegen, I think. Unlapping himself, maybe, potentially. Yes, he does. And those are 24 seconds, so 0.6 should be around 24 seconds in the pit lane. You have a good pit stop. So 34, 23, just about somewhere there. So if Van Gelder, not annoying too much, no, it's Pim Groenewegen, I'm sorry. So if Nielsen is just not quick enough to get under 24 seconds before Lucas Turkson is pulling to the pit lane, then you might get a good potential for Lucas Turkson to stay in the lead here. And Turkson is staying out, going for another lap. Nielsen. Now, that was at 24 seconds. Not quite gaining that much as I think he wished to, by pulling in a purple sector 2. And here around the final corner he goes. Have a look at what gap is now. 1.5 seconds gained in this lap on Lucas Turkson. So there is a need for a quick pit stop. Rafael Sprang picking up another 3 seconds. And Nielsen now 22.2. Now going into the 21 second gap. So with every meter that Dominic Nielsen is able to drive here before Lucas Turkson is pulling into the pit lane, he's getting more and more seconds onto his account as soon as Lucas Turkson will leave the pit lane. Have a look. Lucas Turkson going to the pit lane now. Second last corner and the last corner before the pit lane, and those are track limits there. And he's going to the pit lane, indeed. Trying to get there to the line as fast as he can. Braking for it. And he was slow enough. Now let's have a look. Where's Dominic Nielsen? Where's Turkson? Alright, goes on. And Dominic Nielsen will round the final corner just now. He's at the exit of it. And will pass Lucas Turkson by a big gap. You can see maybe the Mercedes somewhere in the background. Yes, there it was. Nielsen and Turkson just crossed the line pretty much at the same time. Nielsen is now ahead. 4 seconds, 4.3, 4.4. Let's see, 9 laps to go for Lucas Turkson to catch up and overtake to Dominic Nielsen and take the lead again and win for the 3rd time in a row. Or is it Dominic Nielsen who can take the win at this race today? We can see Turkson in the back now on the 5-second gap, so even losing time to Dominic Nielsen. This is not looking good for him, and as soon as he might have catch up to Dominic Nielsen in a few laps, then there will of course be a lot of defending, I think. And the gap is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Even after the pit stops, now we're starting to get a difference and gap going down. So there even was some extra time put onto Lucas Turkson's gap to Dominic Nielsen, and we're now going into another 9 laps from now on that Dominic Nielsen has to do before he can maybe celebrate his win And Lucas Starkson here putting in a purple sector 3. Definitely pushing there. This is a Red Bull. Red Bull from Joep van Leeuwen. In the back there, running the corner. That was Dominic Nielsen. Can slightly see the car. Some apexes of the corner. There it is, just going off the screen, and Joep van Leeuwen is making his way to the side, leaving Dirksen go through. And we're seeing Nielsen losing time now. Purple sector 2 for Lucas Dirksen. So this looks like a fastest lap. Lucas Dirksen getting the gap down. I will tell you how much he just did in one lap. Like around 1.3 seconds. So this would be more than enough, although the ERS of Lucas Dirksen is close to no. And those were 0.9 seconds less lap time than Dominic Nielsen. Just got in the fastest lap. And now probably trying to cruise a bit. Recharge the ERS. The hopes of catching up to Dominic Nielsen in time before it might be too late to do so and overtake. 7.5 laps to go. And the gap is growing. That's also going down a bit. It's not quite clear where it is going. Gap between the two fastest drivers here. Alvin who switch caused a bit of controversy. That with him driving on the AI today. There is no way to judge his pace. Nielsen is keeping his times pretty steady. And Lucas Dirksen just gained 0.2 seconds in this one lap. This will not be enough to catch up to Dominic Nielsen. And Dominic Nielsen is looking to win today here at Qatar in Lom1138 Cup. So the strategy from Lucas Dirksen to stay out longer doesn't work out this time. In Austria it worked out perfectly, but if it works in Austria it doesn't work in Qatar, for sure. As you can see, Dominic Nielsen would have to make a mistake in order to get Lucas Dirksen past him for the end of this race. 6.5 laps to go. Well, for a Toyota driver to do his best. Stay cool under the pressure, yes. The Mercedes catching him more and more and more and more. By now it looks like it could be close. So forget you. As soon as Lucas Dirksen is at 1 second, around 2.2 seconds away now. Then he gets DRS, which can make the process get a bit quicker. Catching. Lucas Dirksen is probably pushing the car to its limit. The DRS is pretty much empty. We're at 3 seconds. Now we're under them. 0.9 until DRS for Lucas Dirksen. And a bit more than 5 laps to go. This race. Back at 3 seconds. No, it's not 0.9 seconds until DRS. 1.9 seconds until DRS. So the job is even bigger than I just told you. Dirksen. We got himself a teammate who isn't even driving. order to get the Constructors' Championship even easier than it was already. And 2.3 seconds is now the new gap. You can see the Alfa Romeo there, on the side of the screen. And there it is, in the back, entering the last corner now. Just seeing that Mercedes there in the back must be pretty creepy. But what he doesn't know is that Lucas Starkson has a big disadvantage. It's called DRS. Nielsen should have the upper hand if Lucas Dirksen can catch. Last lap, Dirksen was 0.9 seconds quicker than Dominic Nielsen. So there's a big gain for Lucas Dirksen, so I think this might actually work out. Although the gap looks to be sinking in the last sector, so if Dominic Nielsen is seeing that, then might be using some ERS now from here on. Lucas Dirksen just got 3 seconds on his account because of track limits. Probably thinking, yeah, I can get one removed. Which you can't, probably. Because, well, there are rules that we just put in after the last race, and going wide even once more, and just realizing, okay, I cannot get this win. Let's get the fastest lap safe. And going onto the soft tires. Dominic Nielsen just realized probably that he got a win in his back. Because of Lucas Dirksen giving up on his opportunity. Kip van Leeuwen is now unlapping himself. There he is. There is Pim Granavik in the back. Well, and Lucas Dirksen now, 25 seconds behind, plus 3 seconds. Won't be enough for Luke Turnison to catch up there, but also not enough for Lucas Dirksen to gain enough time there for a win, just trying to get in some fastest laps. Hopes to get Dominic Nielsen not having any chance stealing it. Although Nielsen is now in a situation where he could also pit and try. But as you can see here, not doing it, he's just cruising it home now. Only 3 laps to go. This race here at Qatar ends again. And see penalties now. Ryan Montano has a disadvantage on his teammate called Luke Turnison, but also an advantage on Ruffled Spring by the penalties. And Lucas Dirksen is putting in a very quick lap, 0.4 seconds ahead in the first sector alone. Dominic Nielsen just got 3 seconds, and this is the point where Lucas Dirksen might think, oh shit, down by Veer to go in the pit lane, because now, if Lucas Dirksen would have stayed out, his chances of winning would have been alive again. So at this point we can say the strategy from Lucas Dirksen was a bit stupid. And he's even losing in the second sector on his personal best now. And here it is. Fastest lap 23.2. And only barely 10 faster than his fastest lap before. But still quick enough to easily lap join us in there. And now the advantage of those soft tires is gone for Lucas Dirksen. He's losing time again on the fastest lap, 0.5 in the first sector alone. And I think I can say for sure, if we look now, this is Dominic Nielsen on his final lap. And his potential first race win, unless he does a big mistake now. And somehow puts it into a barrier or somewhere else. We get a yellow sector 3 for some reason, which I don't understand, because all cars keep driving. It was only Perfect Spring losing a bit of momentum there. Not much more. Getting overtaken by Millen Dirksen. And Dominic Nielsen here. Last time he has to round these corners. One of the trickiest on the circuit here. Stays on the track. Just cruises. And that's Alfa Romeo. Home to get a win here at Lom1138 Cup. And there we go. It is Dominic Nielsen. And here is Dominic Nielsen. Goes round the final corner to win here at Lom1138 Cup. Look at this. A strategy which was bad from Lucas Dirksen, and he's winning. Dominic Nielsen. And here is Lucas Dirksen with the fastest lap in the back. Not in this lap, but he is in second place. Still deserved. Had a bit of a bad strategy there. Just about strategy on level of my skill. And Luke Toineson also on the podium again. Just like last race. And his teammate Rory Montano just right behind him. Coming in for Aston Martin to get a very good result here. And Millen Dirksen there in the back. Goes over the line, and here's he again. Dominic Nielsen wins here at Qatar. For Alfa Romeo, I can't tell you what the exact championship will be now. But I think that this will be a big step forward for Dominic Nielsen. So right now it looks like Nielsen getting 25 points will put him somewhere in the region of P6. Should be P6 for him, and there it is. It's now sure. Dominic Nielsen once again gets a good result at Lom1138 Cup, and it is his best one in Lom1138 Cup yet. And wherever they is Marimer, not because he's on AI, he will be disqualified in the end. Congratulations to Dominic Nielsen. And now let's have a look at the podium. And here are the results. Dominic Nielsen wins again of Lucas Darkson and Luke Joynerson. Ryan Montano puts in a good result at P4. Milan Darkson in P5 and 3 Dutch drivers in at the back with Van Leeuwen, Groenewegen and Mark van Gelder. Quick look at the race director. And here we are. Thank you for watching.